on the beat, boy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And tonight or today we're going to be doing a review on Marriage Boot Camp season 11 episode 1. Okay, I don't know if anybody like me or whatever, but I didn't even know this was coming. Like, maybe I wasn't keeping up on things like I was supposed to or whatever, but I didn't even know this was coming. So when I seen this was coming on, I'm like, okay, I'm here for it because I got to see who is going to be in this house. So I don't know if they surprised us or whatever, or maybe they did something and I didn't pay no attention, but I was here for it. Okay. All right. So I got my little notes or whatever. So I'm going to be doing a review on this show. Don't know if I'm going to be doing it on a lot, but I'm definitely going to be doing it on this show because it's one of the shows that, you know, I feel like deserves to be talked about a little bit. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. The limousines first roll up or whatever. Okay, so they got white limousines. Everybody trying to figure out why they in white limousines, but they pulling up in white limousines. First couple to get out is Kim and Wynn. Kim is from Beverly Hills Housewives, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and Wynn is like her boo or whatever. I don't really watch that show. You know what I mean? I don't watch that show at all. They said that their kids hooked them up. They've been together for 6 years now, but they're not married. Now, Kim has been married before, but she's like a widow. I don't know if she's a widow, but because Wynn was like, she's been married 3 or 4 times. But Wynn, he been married 1 time. So, you know, I don't know if she's a widow or if she's just a divorcee now. I don't know. But, you know, on these shows, they always got to have one of the, you know, older housewives or something like that on these shows, because, you know, you gotta bring in and blend everybody together so you can get a little taste and dab for everybody. Okay, so they walk up in the house. They're the first people to come in the house. They got the little croissants that they're giving you, and each croissant got like something to represent, you know, something about you, and it'll get into that later on of who you are or whatever. Oops, sorry, I got a nip slip. Sorry about that, guys. Let me go ahead and don't want to have a Janet Jackson or Nicki Minaj moment. Let me get it together. Okay. So, that goes down or whatever. They come in the house. I'm not going to name everybody croissants because we ain't going to get into all that. Just know that they put on the croissants. And their issue is, we're going to get to their issue later on. We just going to go who rolling up in the house, because that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay. Second people roll up in the house is Mama D and Ernest. And Mama D comes from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and Ernest is her off and on husband. Mama D is the mama of Lil Scrappy. I don't know if y'all know the Lil Scrappy, but you don't want no problems. You don't want no problems with me. And y'all might not know this, because if y'all looking at this review and y'all not into all of the shows, y'all might not know who he is. But when I seen Mama D, I already knew, okay, we got a show. We got a show. Now, y'all on to something. WeTV. Y'all on to something. So, Mama D and Ernest roll up. They've been married since 96. But she sent him to jail in 07. But then they got back married again, like, in the past couple years. I don't know exactly the date, but it was on the show that they got married again. But she sent him to jail for selling drugs. But he came back and went back to her. So, you already know they got issues, you know what I mean? Quite naturally. And then Mama D, like, okay. So, they roll up in the house. Mama D want to get a drink. Ernest like, let's just wait until the other guests arrive. You know, he tried to say it in a nice way because he know he don't like when she get on that drink. But he was trying to say it in a nice way so that she wouldn't get on the drink too early. So, let's wait for everybody else to get here. So, they roll on in. Then here come Picture Perfect. Desiree and Chris, they're from The Bachelorette. That's another show that I don't really get into too heavy, but on the Marriage Boot Camp, they always bring in the Picture Perfect couple from The Bachelorette and The Bachelor, all those shows. You know, you gotta have the perfect couple who thinks they're perfect, and not just necessarily thinks they're perfect, but, you know, to me, their image comes off. It's like, we got the perfect relationship. We don't have any problems. We're just here because we're so used to TV. And so we're going to get on TV and, you know, get this check, but we're going to make it look good. And you don't get out of line too much, honey. And I don't get out of line too much. We're just going to play this thing smooth so we can get through this. Okay. That's like how they come off. You know what I mean? It's always a couple that come off like that. But later on in life, they'll realize they got problems. You'll see the problems later on because I know they coming. So, then here comes Puma and Kwani. And if you don't watch this show, you Black Ink Crew, New York. They come from New York. Puma comes from the Black Ink Crew show. He was like on the first 2 seasons, maybe 3. But he been off and on in the last couple of seasons because him and the owner of the shop, Caesar, you know, they kind of like had some outs or whatever. So Puma is not really a big character on Black Ink anymore. And you know, he had Kwani though way before the show started. Back when Black Ink first started, Kwani was actually having their first child. So they pull up, so I'm already like, okay, they done pulled up, so I'm like, oh my gosh, Puma and Kwani? Like, I'm like, really? You know? So then the last couple that rolls in, honey, is Aubrey and Pauly D. And when I seen this, I'm like, now first instinct in my mind, because like I had to think for him, and I'm like, didn't I see Aubrey on this show before? You know, and then they did a flashback, and let me get the line right. Defend my character. Defend my character. And I knew I had seen her on this show before. Remember the little boy, the little ponytail? We knew that wasn't going to last no way. But, you know, Aubrey, Pauly D, you know, y'all, that's a crazy couple right there. It got potential to work, but I don't know. They both kind of the same to me. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. It looked like it got some potential there, but at the same time, it seemed like it's for a check. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It seemed like some potential, but they've been together 2 years. Puma and Kwani been married for 4 years, and Desiree and Chris been married for 2 years. So I do got that down. Okay, so they all sitting there. Everybody at the house now. Everybody sitting back. Mama D saying her part, because you know Mama D is a character. You know, she gonna really be a big character on this show. Like, even if you got all these other people, y'all gonna get to know who Mama D is by this show, because Mama D is a piece of work. And so Aubrey just sitting there just like, Mama D has to rhyme with everything. She's just like so fascinated that somebody is like not as smart as she is. To me, that's what I thought. Like, Aubrey just like, dang, somebody that's a little bit dumber than me. You know what I mean? Not saying that Mama D is dumb, but the way she speak is like so, you know, Aubrey just like, wow, somebody that talks more crazier than I do. You know what I mean? Okay, so they all sitting there. Here come Dr. Ish and Dr. V. You know what I mean? They like run the thing. They've been running it ever since the other man got beat up. Y'all remember when the other man was on Marriage Boot Camp? And what's it? I think it was Hank. Remember when they brought Hank and Kendra on the show? And they had that board, and they were beating that board, and you're supposed to beat your problems out, and that board flipped back and hit that man in the face. He said, I'm done. So I'm not going to say that's the reason why he done, but it knocked some sense in him. I ain't seen him since. And so now it's Dr. Ish, Dr. V. They pretty cool. You know what I mean? You know, they pretty cool. I would like to see their relationship off camera, you know, because they play it really good together. I don't know, but, you know. So they come in, they talking, Puma and everybody just like, okay, some doctors, okay, we can rock with y'all. We got some professionals, you know. So they walk in. And so now, and we all know on Marriage Boot Camp, the exercise is always, we already know. You ready to get drained out, and you ready to find out some truth about you and your partner when these exercises come about. So the exercise is prom. So that was the whole like meaning behind the white limos and the meaning behind the corsage, if I'm saying it right, and all of that, because we was gonna have a prom. So that everybody get dressed up into these outfits. You know, the only person that really looked okay was Mama D to me. She only one that had like a decent dress. The rest of them, it was like, okay. Kwani wasn't too bad either with a little black and gold. But the rest of them, even when Desiree came out, even Chris said her dress was ugly. So they get out and they all dance. And each one of them, the music that was playing was a song about their life. You know, so each one came out and they did a little, you know, song, and they all danced to something that was pertaining to their story. You know what I mean? It was kind of cool. And so they all sat down on the bleachers. Okay. Then it gets real. Okay. So here goes the one thing that they do when they get you at marriage weekend. They'll get you, and I guess, I don't know how they get people to do it, but they'll get you to talk about the person, and they'll record you, and then they'll play it back to the person to find out what they really think about you. I really don't know how they get it like that. I don't know if they like get you in a personal room or something. I don't know, but they get you. And so that's when your partner find out what you really feel. So now it's ready to get real. You know what I mean? So, you know, the first person that comes up is, let's see. I'm going to go with Puma and, oh no, Desiree and Chris. They come up first. I want to say them, but we just going to go into what each person said, because I don't want to get the order. It's not a certain order. They all kind of had problems. So Desiree and Chris, they come up, and their issue is that, you know, ever since they had a baby, and, you know, things has been different in the household, and, you know, Desiree needs to, I guess, be more exciting and adventurous, because they trying to live this fairy tale life, but it's really dead, and it's not what they try to make it seem. You know what I mean? So she finds out that, you know, life is really like different now for them, even though they feel like they trying to do things the picture perfect way, get married, have a kid, all that stuff, and then they really, it's not really like that. It's not as happy as they thought it would be, trying to do the image of a picture perfect life. And so then you have Puma and Kwani, and Puma issue with Kwani is that he feels as though Puma feels as though Kwani always kind of disrespects him with her words, like calling him out of his name, calling him the B word, all that stuff. And he don't like that, because he feel like she takes away his masculine feel, you know. And, you know, Kwani just feel like everything is all about Puma. That's how she feels. She feels like everything is always about him, you know. So that's her issue. And then this is when it gets good, okay? So then we get the Win and Desiree, not Win and Desiree, Win and Kim. That's the older couple from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay, Win gets up there, honey, and he's an older, you know, I want to say he a white guy, but I don't know if he could be, you know, something else, like maybe Italian or something else in his mixed. But I don't know. But he's one of them old guys that I guess been married before. And now he want to live his best life. You know what I mean? He with this lady probably because, you know, she got something to fall back on. I'm sure she's not just a complete, you know, I don't know what's going on with her though. Allegedly, because I'm going to say this before you know, she seemed a little, you know. So I don't know what's all that about. But, I think, you know, he kind of liked the fact that she's probably an older lady with, you know, something going on for herself a little bit, you know, because I mean, in reality, Wynn says that he want him a hot young girl that want to party and do this and this and that. But at the same time, them young girls ain't got nothing to offer him. They gonna take his money. You know what I mean? Kim seems like the type of woman where she probably got something established. You know what I mean? I'm sure she got her own place. I'm sure she got, you know, things enough to keep herself going in her life. You know what I mean? She got something to fall back on. A lot of young girls, I ain't saying young girls don't got nothing, but, you know what I mean? What can he really get out of a young girl? A young girl ain't gonna give you nothing. She gonna want to take. You know what I mean? You want a young girl, she wants some money, especially from an older guy. You know what I mean? So I think he kind of with the Kim woman because that's just some security, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he want to party, have fun, because it's apparently some things that he missed out on when he was married, and you know, that he really still want to relive. He still want to be a party guy. I mean, like, if you want to be a party guy, why you still with this woman? Go and be a party guy. Apparently, Kim got something that you want, so tell the truth. What is it that you want from her? So, then we go into Ernest and Mama D. Okay, Ernest and Mama D is basically going through the same thing as Wynn and Kim. Okay, then we get to Kim. Let me get back to Kim real quick. So that just breaks Kim down when she hear that Wynn wants something hot and stuff. Cause you know that bother a lady, especially when she knows she getting older and she knows she was, you know, once pretty good looking. You know what I mean? Now she old. That it's not that she's not still a attractive lady, but she's older now. You know what I mean? She's not the young. She'll never be young and hot. I mean, she can still be hot, but she won't be young. I mean, she's older now. It's no turning back. Once you turn the, that's why they had so many clocks and stuff. Once you turn the time, you can't get time back. Time just move forward. So that hurt her. So she started crying because, you know, she was thinking about the reason why she's going through the things she's going through is because she did have the, when she did have the hotness and all of that, she was trying to be the Chris and Desiree, you know, live the perfect life. You know, I'm hot and young. I'm gonna marry this man. I'm gonna have his babies and all of this stuff. Only to find out that she got cheated on and this and this and that. And then she forgave him and they still was friends and all of this. So she kind of still holding on to baggage from her past because she was the Desiree at one time, but just probably the blonde Desiree, you know, with the blonde hair instead of just the brunette. So, I mean, she was a young girl trying to live the picture perfect life. And it didn't turn out that way. Now she with this older guy who's trying to get that old thing back, you know? And so she cried. And I felt for her a little bit because I'm like, that's hurtful for you to be sitting here with this shiny man. He all shiny. And, you know, he talking this stuff about you like that. You know what I mean? That's hurtful. I can understand it. Who wouldn't be hurtful if somebody tell you, you're not hot. You're not hot. You're not, I want somebody who's more sexier than you. That hurt anybody. That hurt a young girl. You know what I mean? So then when they get to Ernest and Mama D, Ernest is kind of feeling the same way as Wynn. Like, as in with the attractive thing. Ernest says that he's not physically attracted to Mama D and he's not sexually attracted to her. And he said he don't want to be sexually attracted to her, physically attracted to her because he said it gets old. But Mama D's trying to say, well, you know, you're not doing that thing like you're supposed to. You know what I mean? So, you know, she feels like, you know, I got to do all this stuff and you got to take Viagra. You can't even get up. You can't even please me, honey. Like, what's, you know, but he's trying to tell her the reason, but he got some type of condition, but he's also trying to tell her the reason why he can't get it up for her is because he's not sexually attracted to her. So Mama D, you already know she's mad about that. You know what I mean? And then she, you know, they got an issue with his mama because Ernest says that he love his wife, but he love his mama more. Something like that. And it's like, yeah, Mama D, you know what I mean? That's something to say to a woman, period. But let alone Mama D, that's something to say to her because you may love your mama. You may love your mama a little bit more than me, but your mama can't do the things I do, you know? So that's how she feels. So she just like, it's a big mess. Then lastly, Aubrey and Pauly D. Pauly D issue with Aubrey is that he feel like she's always on his back. But at the same time, he feel as though she's messy. Like he says that her dogs is messy all over the place. She always got junk all over the place. This all over the place, that all over the place. And it is believable because she's a high maintenance type of girl. You know, most high maintenance girls that are into the makeup, the hair, the weave, the fashion, the this, the that, they are pretty messy girls. You know, most girls that I have seen that are designer type girls and bougie and high maintenance and this and that, they are the most messiest girls I've ever seen in my life. Some of the girls that I have seen that are really into all of this stuff, you go in their bathroom and you can't even wash your hands in their zinc. You know what I mean? So it's definitely believable. And like she said, she's trying to work on it. You know what I mean? But it's like, come on, you know what I mean? You got, I mean, if you want a man and you know, and you want to be with him, y'all got to compromise, you know? And so then, you know, Aubrey says, he just tortures me. He tortures me more than my mother. You know what I mean? Because I guess, you know, her mother has tortured her in her life. And she just feel like it's just torture what he does to her. You know, telling her to pick up after herself and clean up. That's like something a mother would tell you. And her mother have tortured her with that all her life. And that's why everybody just like, torture, that's a really deep word to use. You know what I mean? Torture. You know what I mean? Like, torture, Aubrey? Torture? You know, so everybody just like, oh, you just being a little over dramatic with that word. But at the same time, y'all gonna have to learn how to compromise in, you know, that. So now we get out to The exercise is over. Everybody is still in their bag. You feel me? Because you know that gets you in your bag. Even though you got to move on past this exercise, you still in your bag from what you just heard your partner say. So you know it's time to move on, but in here you ain't moved on. So everybody going out, and now it's time to label each person, because you know first night you got to pick the room. So now your room is based off of your label. You know, so everybody get to label each other, and Puma takes it upon himself because he just feels like he should be in charge of this. So he's up trying to tell me, oh, this for you, this for you, this for you. Kwani like, you sit down, you know. She said, sit down somewhere. Oh, and let people do this. So, all right, let me get the things right. So the not what they seem, y'all know that goes to Desiree and Chris, because of course they the picture perfect couple, Chris and Desiree, and then they go up in their room, and we'll get to the rooms next. So then the train wreck, they was kind of deciding, they was in between. The train wreck went to Puma and Kwani, because the most likely to leave single would have been last, and it wouldn't have worked out for Puma and Kwani, because Puma like he got a kid and he don't want to leave her single. And so Aubrey and Pauly D ended up might most likely to leave here single, you know, Sashay. And then most likely to go home went to Win and Kim. And then Aubrey, hold on, so that was 1, 2, that was all of them. The most likely to go home, the train wreck, and not what it seemed, and the most likely to leave here single. So that's everybody's, you know, sachet that they got. So they go up to the rooms. So Desiree and Chris, I'm gonna get their names together, please. If I got it wrong, please, I apologize, but I'm gonna get it. So Desiree and Chris, their room is the frogs and like the dead fairy tale, like the frog and the princess and the frog, and it's like gloomy, like as in they trying to put on this picture perfect life, but it's really not what it seems. And then the train wreck is Puma and Kwani, but when they walk in their room, it's more just like Puma and a guest, like as in it's all about Puma and never about Kwani. But another thing, Puma issue is with Kwani too, that he want her to take on his last name, because she hasn't took on this man's last name, even though she was married to him. So that's an issue that they're going through too. If I missed anything, I'm just trying to, it's a lot. It's a whole hour of a show. It's a lot. So then, when Win and Kim walk in their room, it's like clocks and, you know, old stuff, like a big cotton, you know, knitting ball, and just time, like, you know, just places telling the time is winding up. Like, when, if you're gonna marry the woman, you're gonna marry. If you're gonna be with her, you're gonna be with her. But honey, running behind these young girls that's your grandkids age, honey, you got to sit down. Time is winding up. And so that's what they feel like. So then Mama D, we're gonna get to them last. We're gonna end them off. We're gonna end it off with Mama D and Ernest. And oh yeah, Mama D and Ernest, their sachet was the drama queen and drama king. I knew I forgot the sachet. But we ain't gonna forget them. Y'all definitely ain't left out. So then when we walk into Aubrey and Pauly D's room, it's messy, weave everywhere, tracks everywhere, dog poop everywhere. Pauly D said the dogs poop and pee everywhere. You know, Pauly D is the type of person where he's the party life, the DJ. So they got the Vegas life, but then all this big mess, because, you know, and Aubrey just like, you know, it just hurts her because she know it's true. And Pauly D says that, you know, sometimes she'll get in these modes where she'll clean up and then it just goes right back. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, she got to work on it. You know what I mean? Maybe she should work on being more natural. You know, if she become more natural, I think it'll probably help her. But she's so into that life that she just need to get more organized or something, you know? Okay, so then the last room we get in is Mama D and Ernest. So Mama D and Ernest walk in their room. It's just like a big separation. You know, we done seen this before on Marriage Boot Camp. The big split down the middle of the room. Like they live in 2 different lives. But Ernest's life is more the jail life. So they got the little jail desk there for Ernest. But then they got the little vanity up for Mama D. Ernest sits right to his jail desk. And then look, Mama D just like, you just locked into that life. You just locked into that life. And he said, don't make no sense. All you want to do is drink and talk stuff. I get tired of it, because he just back to that prison life. He's still incarcerated, He's incarcerated in his mind, It's a lot. So then all of a sudden he told her, you want to drink and stuff. Next thing you know, Mama D gets up and she started laying them paws on Ernest. She started putting them paws on him. So it ends out with Mama D putting her hands on Ernest, So that's basically how the show ended off. But we definitely going to get into next week's episode on next week because we want to see what happened, even though we don't know all what's going to happen. I don't even know all what's going to happen. You never know on these marriage boot camps what's going to happen. Somebody going to go home. Somebody going to get fighting. Somebody might go hospital. Somebody might go jail. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might get divorced. Somebody might get pregnant. You know what I mean? You never know on marriage boot camp. It's just, you never know. You never know who might pop up. You know what I mean? People guess everything. So it's just one of those shows. Because, you always going to get the real when you're dealing with people's relationships. One thing about them relationships, you can't fake them. Only for so long. Because the real will always come out when in them relationships. I don't care what big screen you put them on. I don't care what house you put them in. I don't care what reality show you put them in. When you got two people that got love for each other or in love or married, if you put them behind some cameras in a house for about 2 weeks, the real is going to come out. So just stay tuned because I'm going to be watching and I'm going to be reviewing and I'll be let y'all know. So make sure y'all comment below y'all thoughts and everything like that and tell me how y'all feel. And I will see y'all next week.